Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Real Talk here on Thursday afternoon, September the 25th. Bo, there's so much stuff happening.
There is a lot. I mean, too much.
I don't even know where to get started. And I did my top 10 list. This is kind of funny. I had my top 10 list Tuesday, went back to Chat GPT today to get my list, and they said they couldn't give me a list, Chat GPT, because we couldn't verify the accuracy of social media. So now all of a sudden they're throwing a guideline up. But I went and I checked out Grok, and Grok brought it to me.
Well, okay, look at there, Grok.
And there's a whole list of stuff that we may or may not get over. But I want to first start talking about some local stuff.
Yeah, let's talk.
We've got the Bluegrass and Mule Festival going on here in town, and it looks like it's going to cool down a little bit for the weekend, and hopefully they'll have a good event there.
They will have a good event. Historically, they've had a great event, and it's just a fun time for the family. You know, people say there's nothing to do around here. Well, this weekend we've got a lot to do, and it's Bluegrass and Mules. We just had the War Trace Music Festival that I attended that was wonderful. You know, shout out to those people that just did a great job. Now, here we are the next weekend. We've got something to do. It's exciting. It's fall's coming into the air.
Okay,
you know?
Enough of the good news.
Okay.
All right, that's about it.
All right, yeah.
We've got a lot of other things happening locally. I know that there's been some protests on free speech going around the whole country at college campuses, and we got TSU jumping right in the middle of this.
Yes.
And you got turmoil up there, and you've got people that basically, Bo, at this point, they call things, and when I say this, there's people that's calling racism if you say that abortion is wrong, or if you say that we should obey the law, or if you say that the border should be closed and have legal immigration and not illegal immigration, and everybody should have a right to free speech, but let's don't kill each other. Okay, if you come out for those things, the common sense things that basically our country is founded on, you're now considered a racist. Or it's hate speech.
Yeah, it's a hate speech, and that is where we are. You know, it's almost like back in the days when they wrote these movies about that kind of thing. Here we are, but that's exactly what's happening. It's these extreme college campuses that, you know, even if a group, now this group, I don't believe they had their right, whatever it is, the protocol that they're supposed to go to get it, and I believe you do need to go. If there is a protocol to be on campus, you need to go through a protocol. But these groups that are pushing back, they're not even listening to the message. They they automatically labeled them as hate just because they're conservative or they're against certain things.
But what I want us to talk about, Bo, is the bottom line. There's been a line drawn, and it's amazing to me some of the people that are lining up on the side of evil. Yes. Okay, this is evil. Good versus evil.
That's all it is.
I thought generally, by and large, most Americans are good people, but we're starting to see more and more people gravitate toward nonsense. This guy that shot up the ice place.
Yeah.
What was it, Tuesday morning?
Yeah.
Okay, so he comes out, and you find out he's a 29-year-old that has a transgender sister. His mom is a radical left-wing nut that believes that all the nonsense that the far left has been on.
He's just being fed lies after lies.
Okay, and he's a furry.
Yes.
And all this stuff going on.
He decides in his own hands that he's going to take out some ICE agents, and that'll
he took out the dead gum.
He took out the detainees that he was mad against.
This shows a level of stupidity also.
It's terrorism. It's stupidity, terrorism on steroids, because you know, how do you know what they are they're being so blinded by what they believe, and what's really going on is those detainees are going, no, don't shoot.
Yeah.
And this guy is thinking he's doing something good. He kills one detainee, injures badly two, and one ICE agent got injured minor. But you know, this guy is totally insane. And here we are again with the connection to transgender mental illness. We've got mental illness, and when lies are involved with somebody that's mental ill,
I don't want to think it's mental illness. I just think it's pure evil.
Well, that is exactly right. But if you want to put a sweet name on it, it's mental illness.
It's not mental illness. This is brainwashing by adults.
I agree.
And by the left wing, and by our honestly, our higher education system is brainwashing people toward evil.
Yes, it is. I mean,
right now, if I was sitting down to advise my two kids And if they were getting ready to go to college, I would advise them to stay away from college.
Yes.
And to develop a skill.
Yeah.
Instead of going and getting their mind corrupted.
Yes.
Because that's what's taking place.
It is.
And it's scary that this type of stuff. Charlie Kirk was making a difference. That's the reason he was taken out.
Yes.
Now, who is behind it?
Well, that's still a question. You know, they like to, the news tells us that it's this young man, and you know, that's all that I've heard and seen. So really and I've seen some evidence they provided. So when I make my decision, that's what I know. I do hear other things.
They've got a bullet. Why don't they do a dadgum test?
Yeah, well, and maybe they will. You know,
they should have done that first day.
I would think so.
Think about this. The feds come and they pave right over where Charlie Kirk was sitting. Why?
Yeah, well, that's a good question.
Okay.
And I hope those questions are being asked. But I am for, you know, I think that things are immediate. We're in a time where we want things immediate, and we do need to have patience and hope that the authorities are doing the right thing.
Well, here's the thing. The FBI has basically told the state of Utah to hurry up and wrap this investigation up.
Yeah, well,
they want it done, sealed and gone.
Well, no, it's not hurry. You've got to have a thorough investigation.
But that's what the FBI is trying to do. Why? That's a question mark. You do a sound analysis of it. There ain't no way that was a 30-06 gunshot.
Yeah, they're saying that it could be it could have been closer than what they thought. A 30-06, we talked about the other day, and hunters that are listening, they know it can do some damage, especially at 150 yards, 200, whatever it hits, depending on your round.
I saw a telling video yesterday. There was a guy sitting there analyzing the shot, you know, how it hit Charlie. But more than anything, the audience that was standing there watching after the shot and after he has already fallen, nobody turned around and looked where the shot supposedly came from, because the sound was not that it should have been deafening down in that hole.
Yes. There is a lot of questions, and there's still questions arising from JFK, and I think there'll always be questions with this.
There will, as long as our government tries to cover crap up.
Yes.
And that's what's going on.
Yes. And then they've linked some of the Epstein to this. They've linked Israel to this. I mean, there's a lot of things we're hearing, and I'm not so, you know, it's not like I'm not listening to those. I take everything in. But as far as where the evidence is right now and what they provided,
we don't know, Bo.
Well, you're right, but this is what they've told us.
I know it's a bunch of crack. Here's the thing: the guy supposedly admitted to it and confessed to the killing, but he has not confessed.
Yeah.
All right. He's sitting in a cell on suicide watch. Mm-hmm. His dad is going to collect $1 million reward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. All these texts and everything, they basically have said these were not original. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's what people
manufactured.
And we're not going to get a true investigation from government agencies. Yeah. We're not, because there's something else here. They look at it and go, oh, well, we can't say that. Oh, well, we can't even say that. It's all this garbage, and this is going on in everything that we look at now, Bo. I mean, you look at that and you say, man, the ice thing looks pretty shot. It looks like it's a clear-cut deal. Yeah. I guarantee there's some kind of monkey business going on there.
It's sad to know, but yes, there are things that look one way and that are another. You know, we choose to believe one thing, we know another. But that's why I always say keep an open mind on things that you hear, like this investigation that's going on. You know, I've seen what they've provided, but I'm also keeping my ears open for other things. But we'll probably never know, so don't go crazy and trying to keep up with it.
I think there's one person that's going to find it. Candace Owens is not stopping.
No, she's not. And this movement,
she's asking everybody that had anything to do with this, and she's questioning everybody on this, and she's trying to get. She's asking for autopsy reports. She's asking for coroner's reports. She's asking for surgeon reports. Because it's a federal investigation and it's supposed to be open to the public once it gets to a certain point.
And what's wrong with that, asking questions? You know, here we are again in the public, people asking good, legitimate questions getting demonized. That seems to happen all across the country in small counties and big counties, and at this level. I mean, she's asking good questions. I haven't seen any questions that are, you know, crazy questions.
No,
she just wanting answers.
She said her friend, she's going to find out what happened to her friend. She said, if it's the last thing I do, well, I'm going to find out.
On the other side, you've got since his death, I think it's reignited a fire in the United States of America. I feel like that the conservative movement, the MAGA movement, whatever you want to call it, is stronger than ever. But, you know, Donald Trump isn't going to be in office forever, and we've got to start looking.
Well, here's the thing. MAGA is more than Donald Trump now at this point.
Oh, it is.
It's about make America great again.
It is.
And right now, MAGA is split because of what's going on with Israel and Palestine.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
there's a split right there. There's some people that consider themselves make America great again. They don't want to see it go on anymore, and there's some on the other side that want to see the Palestinians pushed off into the Red Sea.
Yeah, I don't get.
I mean,
that,
to the Mediterranean
I think
Sea.
if they're, regardless of what the people are or what they believe, if they're peaceful and they're wanting to reside in a place that's rightfully theirs, then what's wrong with that? Why do you want to kick them off?
Well, Israel's running our government at this point.
Well, then we need to run our own government. We quit need to be bought by Israel. I mean,
we're bought and paid for.
Well, I know, but
I
mean, when are we going to stop?
Trump even has come out and said he's not for a two-state settlement.
Well, I mean,
that's just terrible. I mean, I think he's controlled. I think the powers that be, the rich. I don't know where it comes from,
well, maybe
but it's all the
Netanyahu's
Israel.
just got him. If he wasn't there anymore, maybe they could get some more.
I think it's above him, but the money pushes him, and the money pushes him to do what he's done over here. The way he came out the day after Charlie was shot and said we didn't have anything to do with it. Oh man,
he's a very articulate individual.
But that was like almost that was.
Yeah, I mean, that's
that was fishy.
The main guy of Israel decided to comment on a murder that happened in the United States.
We didn't do it. Why would you even say that?
He's got a war going on. Doesn't he have other things to talk about?
You would think.
I mean,
and he talked about how Charlie was a big supporter of Israel. He was our supporter. He wanted to turn the narrative. That right there is smoke. He was. Where there's smoke, there's fire, Bo.
Look, and the thing about Charlie, and I think we're like that, and many other Americans are just like us. We support whatever, but we're for the truth. And whenever whatever we're supporting decides not to, go away from the truth, and we call them out, they don't like it.
Here's who you need to be watching right now that are seeking the truth. You're looking at Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Steve Bannon, Clayton Morris on Redacted. They're all searching the truth on this. And then you got other smaller guys that actually know stuff about weapons more than the people doing an investigation.
Yes.
They know more. They look up there. There was a witness that said that this rifle was not a 30-06. He saw it firsthand and got a video of it. And he come out and said, that's not a 30-06.
Well, you got the people that know what they're talking about, and then you got the politicians, the people commenting on what's going on.
Well, they're the ones in control.
I know the ones commenting so listen to the so-called little guy. He knows what he's talking about.
The FBI is, and Kash Patel is like,
look, they've lost their credibility, no matter if it's a Republican or a Democrat president. It's
Washington, D.C.
There you go.
And I'll just tell you something. Washington, D.C. is the most corrupt city in
and they're not to be. That's the funny thing.
It's a joke.
They pretend not to be.
But it's going to take the American people to do it.
Yeah,
and we don't have the nerve to do it, Bo.
Well, I don't see it. I'm not seeing it.
And it's like a reboot. It's going to take a reboot.
Yeah, I'm seeing the same type of politicians saying the same things on the campaigns that are going on now. I'm not seeing anything original. Nobody that's saying, hey, somebody regular just coming out. I don't know. Maybe I will. We've got a lot of time, but we'll see.
All right. We got some local stuff going on. You were telling me beforehand that we had a big drug bust here in Murfreesboro. Tell us a little bit about that.
We had 33 indicted on a 2-year investigation. This stemmed from an overdose death of a 24-year-old in Murfreesboro. They started from that investigation, that one death. It's stemmed out multi-county. This has been an investigation that's been going on with Metro Nashville, Murfreesboro Police Department, the TBI, drug enforcement agencies, and Tuesday they put out and went and collected most of those individuals. They had
22 of them?
No, it was 33 total. They had 3 or 4 outstanding as of I think yesterday. So I'm not sure if they've gotten them all. But look, this right here, they have seized and confiscated pounds of fentanyl. That would kill millions and millions. They estimated 3 million. Who knows? Probably more. Cash. They've connected this to the cartels, to over the border, to multi-state, but it was residing right here in our backyard, and it was touching Shelbyville. Let me tell you.
Do you think that nonsense stopped at the Rutherford County line?
Oh,
no way! It's here.
That's one. There, I'd say there's. I don't know. There's a multitude of those one guys there. This is a team of teams that are trying their best. and they will use murder, they will use deceit, they will use whatever it takes to evade the law and to not get caught. And I say bravo to these agencies that have done this, because this is what you do, but you have to do this, and it has to be done
24/7.
24/7. And hats off to the men and women who do serve and do this and are relentless.
I just wish they had some backup from the judicial system.
I do too. They are arresting them, and then they're seeing them back on the street.
Our court system is bought and paid for.
I mean, and this is, marijuana, that's one thing. We can have a debate one day about, but this is fentanyl. This is something that in the air, I mean, just a small could kill you, could overdose you. This is poison that we're talking about. I mean, people say poison, oh, you're an old fuddy. No, this is poison. Fentanyl's no joke. This is no joke. Yeah. Okay. And this right here is getting into our counties, into our cities, into our schools. If it's in Murfreesboro, you better believe it's in Shelbyville. I know the officers and we've got to be vigilant, and we've got to say something if we see anything going on.
Just look at the amount of overdose deaths that Bedford County's had. We'll never get that number, but it's not enormous. Yes. There's some people that have been kind of keeping up with it that have reached out to me and said, you would not believe the amount of overdoses that there are.
Oh, yes.
That are not reported as overdoses.
Because they live. If the Narcan's close, it's still an overdose.
No, I'm talking about deaths.
Oh,
deaths that are not reported as overdoses.
Oh, well, and just to go off of that, there's a lot of overdoses that don't end in
we
death.
don't even hear.
That don't end in death. I mean, and then they're enabled because they have that Narcan available. It enables them to just overdose whenever. Hey, I got somebody going to save me. That can get dangerous too. Now, Narcan is a good drug, and it has saved a lot of lives. But I've heard of stories of users and of being together and say, hey, I'm going to use this drug this time. You watch over me. So in case I go out, you shoot the Narcan.
Yeah.
That's not good. Yeah, that's sickening.
Yeah. All right, Bo. There's a lot of things we could go on and talk about, but we need to wind things down here. It is getting close to 4:30, and people will probably be watching this tonight. Guys, thanks for tuning in and watching, and we'll be back again on Monday and sooner if we have breaking news.
Yes,
and that's apt to happen anytime, because Hegseth is meeting with all these generals and admirals. And we also have Russian jets flying over Alaskan buffer zone up there today. 4 jets.
I know. And Venezuela, there's been kind of a tit for tat there too.
Yeah.
They're showing their might, but I believe
they ain't got no might.
They're trying to. Bless their heart.
They're a joke. They're a joke. All right. Well, we'll be back
Monday, sooner if we have to.
We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.